has done this editorial cartoon, and it's all about the upcoming election and what is hatching right now. You can see that particular cobra raising its head. This is a cobra of tribalism, and it says election hatching season. Just on one line on this, we don't need to belabor the point. Ahmed Hashi, you know,
well,
of course, the tone and tenor has been very heightened on this.
Perfect drawing, a perfect signature of what is happening, what has been our country and what always happens. We have our camps, our barracks. You know, for me, Debal, I'm lucky. You know, I'm Maasai, I'm Waria, I'm Gikuyu, I'm all these things. So I'm able to think independently of this nonsense. Debal, you know, Ethiopia, if I could just rope that in.
No, just give a one-liner because we are bound to be going to a short break.
The civil conflict in Ethiopia started because of ethnicity and tribalism.
Thank you. Right.
I think it's wrong. The cartoon is wrong. It's reading the election along in 2022 because the axis around which election is, well, it's not ethnicity. It is revolving around class. So the dynasties versus hustlers. We should be seeing the kind of divisions that the Hasran dynasty, you know, dichotomy is bringing to our society. In 2022, in 2017, 2013 and before, tribalism or ethnicity was a factor. In fact, this is what we should be looking at. In 2002, it was not ethnicity because the two candidates were from the same ethnic group. It was generational, it was a clash of generations, the old and the young. So we should look at these dynamics and see how vulnerable the ethnic factor itself is. I mean, in other words, somebody can always choose something else which divides society. It's not that it's uniting, but it divides society the same way ethnicity divides our society. Maybe somebody else is going to come with an agenda and position it in a certain way that will divide society more.
All right, Ambassador, you think the tribalism, is it an overtone right now or an undertone looking at, you know, the current campaigns that we do have?
One was always hoping that we can go into issues-based election. But unfortunately, as Peter is saying, it's turning to class or tribal. And I think this way we want to really guard and push the elections. I think we need to be told clearly about what each of these big, coalitions are going to push for. Is it a social-democratic state? Is it whatever it is? And so that we can all understand and also people interrogate and understand. And I thought some of the campaigns have been doing exactly that, where you would see a presidential candidate. I've seen one go to the region, gather the population, listen, talk about the issues in those areas, address them. Let's push them to go in this direction.
Thank you.
So that we can avoid this kind of, always going in vicious circle.
Right. Mustafa?
Dibali, I agree with Professor Kagwanja that there is this additional dimension of class, which is something that is actually very new in this particular election. The hustler, all the things that go with politicking around the class, the poor versus the elites. However, the tribal part of it is still so intact. And this is why you still have tribal lords and tribal leaders going back to their backyards to actually, like that cartoon is doing there, to secure their nest and their eggs in their tribal fiefdoms, and then now moving forward or further to add that additional dimension that Professor Peter Kagwanja is saying. And let me just say, Dibal, it just stinks, this tribal kind of politics, and it poses an existential threat to this country.
Right, thank you. Peter Biera Jack, briefly on it as well, one liner.
Well, I don't think there is class politics yet in Kenya. I think this is just a language of campaigns that particular candidates are using. We were just discussing this last week when we were talking about our good friend Kalonzo Musyoka, who was deciding whether to go with this one or go with that one or go with this one. And there is nothing class-based or ideologically based or policies-based It's just individuals, leaders who have control of their tribes who are looking for position. That is, so the cartoon is absolutely apt and is on point.
Right, it's on point. Well, we can wind up that particular phase and just look at, we don't have to comment on this, we've already alluded to International Women's Day, and this is what Stano has drawn for us as well, as we wind up on that particular section. Happy Women's Day. Women's share, career opportunity bench. This is what Stano has drawn inside. The people daily today standing in solidarity with our women as well. And talking of women, we can now go back to Ukraine, where the mouth of a harried woman who has just fled war battered Ukraine